You know, let's be real for a second. If you run a local service business, this quote probably hits pretty close to home. You've seen those videos, right? Shouting about the top 10 AI tools. You try a few out and you just end up with more tabs open and more confusion, not more customers. So today, we're going to ditch the hype and dive into a real system that actually works for people on the ground.
So, what we're breaking down today is a no-nonsense guide to AI. And this is specifically for the businesses that keep our communities going. You know, the roofers, the plumbers, the electricians, all the trades. This isn't for some tech startup with millions in the bank. This is for you.
The biggest problem right now isn't a lack of AI tools. It's a flood of really terrible advice. I mean, every single week there's a new list of must-have AI that you absolutely have to try, but it almost never applies to a local service business. So the real question is, why do these lists consistently get it so wrong for you?
Well, this slide pretty much nails it. These lists recommend these super complex tools like Apollo or Clay. And look, they're great if you have a whole sales team trying to land giant corporate clients. But they are completely useless if you're a roofer just trying to get more calls after a big hailstorm. They totally ignore how you actually work, and you're just left with this mess of disconnected apps copying and pasting between 12 different browser tabs. Sound familiar? Okay, so if collecting more tools isn't the answer, what is? Well, the source material makes a really powerful point here. You don't need more shiny apps fighting for your attention. What you need is a simple, repeatable system. And let's be super clear on what we mean by a system. It's just a process that connects all the dots in your business, nice and smooth. The whole point of using AI in this system isn't some kind of magic trick. It's just to get rid of the friction. You know, for all those little tasks that waste your time. Writing up quotes, answering the same questions over and over, scheduling jobs and chasing down payments.
I love this way of looking at it. When you use them right, these tools aren't just software. They're like the most reliable employees you could ever ask for. They handle all the boring, repetitive stuff so you can get back to the work that actually makes you money. Plus, they never call in sick and they never forget to follow up.
Okay, so how do we actually build this system? The source lays out this really simple but powerful framework. It's called the Flywheel System, and you can think of it as a basic map for how your business really runs day to day. Every single business, I don't care if you're fixing pipes or building websites, follows these 4 stages. You find leads, you follow up with them, you close the deal, and then you do the work. Here's the crucial part. Every tool you even think about using has to fit into one of these stages and make it run better. If it doesn't, you don't need it. It's that simple. I don't care how cool the demo video looked. And now for the really actionable part. You do not need to try and implement 20 different things all at once. We're going to focus on a small, powerful toolkit that'll get you started without all the overwhelm.
First up, the AI writers. Look, you've heard of ChatGPT and Claude. The secret here isn't to jump back and forth between them. Just pick one and get good at it. Generally, ChatGPT is a little faster for quick things, like knocking out a social media post. Claude is fantastic for longer, more detailed stuff because it's a bit better at remembering the context of your whole conversation.
And this is where it gets really practical. You can use these tools to translate your technical know-how into plain English that your customers actually understand. The source gives this great example of a roofer using AI to explain what an ice dam is and why it's a problem for a homeowner. You've already got the expertise. AI just helps you communicate it in a way that gets you more business.
So here it is, your entire beginner's toolkit, laid out nice and simple. We already talked about ChatGPT or Claude for your content. Next up is Canva, which makes your quotes and social media posts look super professional. Then there's Calendly for scheduling. This thing will completely end that annoying back and forth email game. And finally, Stripe, to make it incredibly simple for your customers to pay you online, right away.
And check this out. This is the best part. You can get this entire essential system up and running for basically nothing. We're talking $0 to maybe $30 a month. See, this is about working smarter, not spending a fortune on some massive tech overhaul you don't even need.
So knowing the tools is one thing, but actually implementing them without it taking over your entire life is another challenge altogether. How do you actually start building this system? The key is to just focus on avoiding a few common mistakes. So here are the 3 biggest traps. First, buying a tool to fix a process you haven't even figured out yet. You can't automate chaos. Second, trying to copy workflows from some tech startup in Silicon Valley. Their world is not your world. And third, and this is so important, using AI as a replacement for your own experience.
It's a tool to make you sound smarter and more helpful, not to create bland, generic junk.
So I want you to take a second and really think about this question. What is that one thing you do every week? That one repetitive task that just drives you crazy and wastes your time? Is it answering the same email over and over? Building quotes from scratch? Chasing down payments? Find that one thing. That's your starting point. Solve that one problem first, and then you can move on to the next.
Let's end with this, because it's really the whole point. The business owners who are going to win with AI aren't the ones who have the most tools. They're the ones who pick a few good ones, learn how to use them properly, and build them into a smart system. Focus on building that system, and the tools will take care of themselves.